No, seriously, I got a sunburn out there today in February.
Ugh, yeah, winter in California. When was the last time you rode, dare I say it, a rain bike?
Oh yeah, rain bike. I have one of those. I don't know. It's been a little bit.
It's
Got to oil the chain. Been on the new team bike, the Venge, man. It's really fast. So anyway, let's not get sidetracked. Let's talk about this race because good weather means good fitness, and we got a lot to cover today.
yeah.
All right, Alviso, ladies and gentlemen, 8,700 meters to go. We skipped the whole first part of this race, and it was just a lot of the same characters, a lot of the same guys you've seen in my other videos. Here's Zach and I off the front, doing what we like to do, which is just go super hard. And Chuck's coming across. You can see in the rear cam. These are the usual hitters.
Yeah, and I think, you're going to see a lot of the same faces today, and I think later you're going to see there's one face that's new, it's unfamiliar, but periodically you've been racing here for 30 minutes or so before this point, and all the same guys are in these breaks with you.
Yeah.
And you're keeping tabs on who's following, who's chasing, who's attacking, all the while, right? I assume.
Always. That's a good quality for good bike racer. Know who's who in your field. I mean, sometimes it's hard, right? Let's say you're racing in a new district. Let's say you just got into racing and there's 90 people in your field. You don't know everybody. But if you see like a big team, if you see people who have good-looking gear, well-maintained gear.
Yeah, and I think actually one of the biggest things I look for is like how stressed do they look on the bike? Not like
later stages of the race especially.
Yeah, not necessarily am I talking like fear or being scared of racing, but I mean like when they're maybe not strained out of corners or standing up really aggressively trying to stay on any wheels, yet they're not dropped. They're always there. They're always in good position like the whole race.
Yeah. Look
for like repetition in that.
And why are we talking about this? Well, there was a guy that came out today. There he is right there on the S-Works. His name's Neil.
New York Neil.
He's from New York because we peeped his Strava afterward. And I chatted with him after. And he just looked really strong on the bike. Here he is. One of the few instances he was actually on the front because he was smart. He was always in good position, but he was never unnecessarily spending energy. And this is one of those things where, like we were just talking about, how can you tell who's who when there's a new rider? I assume this guy was strong because of his physique, the aforementioned no amount of stress really on the bike, a smooth pedal stroke as you can see right here. And he was somebody I was looking out for a little bit, to be honest. I didn't want the new guy to come out on my home turf and kick our asses at Alviso, right? We can't have that.
There's pride in
absolutely.
Alviso.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a leader's jersey. I don't know if people knew that. We have a leader's jersey for Alviso, World Championship of Alviso.
Yeah, no, and I think like he was always there, and I think, but wasn't necessarily pushing the pace, right? Like you were the one that was always kind of aggressively pushing it. Other riders were aggressively pushing it, but he was never dropped. He was always there. He was always attentive. He never got caught out on any splits that were dangerous.
Not that I know of, at least. I mean, we were off the front a lot. I don't know if he did a lot of chasing. I don't think that he did, not unnecessarily at least. He seemed very conservative with his energy, another trait of a good bike racer. We're at the later stages of the race, as we mentioned. We will be passing the line. So this is 6Ks, a little over 6Ks to go. We'll be passing the line with, what is that?
Two laps to go.
Two laps to go. So this is like 2 and change to go. You can see the wind arrows. Wind was a factor today. And I'm liking my position right here, to be honest. We've done a lot of attacking before, but I have drawn out the heavy hitters so far of the day. The one dark horse is our boy Neil from New York, and he's the guy I'm looking out for at this point in the race. I wanted to stay together for a field sprint. You guys know that about me.
Yeah, and I think, like, we keep mentioning kind of the familiar faces. Everyone I'm looking at here is also familiar with your move. They know what you're going to do in most cases, and you have a target. You have a target on your back.
What do I do in most cases?
Most cases, you're a sprinter, right? You just said.
Yeah.
You just said
for the finish. I do like attacking, though.
You do like attacking, but the point being, you're never going to just flick your elbow with a lap to go and pull out of the race.
Yeah, gotcha. That makes sense.
But I see Jerome on your wheel there with the shiny bike. He knows you're a sprinter. He's a sprinter. He's going to be queuing off of you for a sprint. And so there's not really like that opportunistic mentality because they're all kind of know where the opportunity is, and the opportunity is with you. It's with Jerome. It's very likely a sprint.
And people lean on us, like, so Jerome's a sprinter, as Brian alluded to, and people lean on the sprinters a little bit in the closing laps of a race because they know that we're going to do everything we can to keep it stitched up for a field sprint.
Right. If you're not dropped with 10K to go, then
I'm keeping it together.
Yeah, you're keeping it together.
That's my main goal, and people lean on that, and that's a smart move. So there goes an attack right there. And who does it have in it? Well, it's got John, who's a strong breakaway rider, a regular at Alviso. More importantly, boom, New York Neil.
Unknown dark horse.
Yeah. And alarm bells for me. So you see I crank it up to 700 or so watts. And I just want to make sure that stays close because I had him pegged, and I just had a feeling, like a spidey sense, that this dude was strong. It's funny I said spidey sense because the new Mike Spikes kit, somebody called it like the Spider-Man kit the other day. Can you see it over there?
Oh,
a little bit Spider-Man, right? Well, maybe I'll put a photo of it in the video as we're talking. So anyway, I am not going to completely empty my tank right now to chase this move back because there's still a lot of meat on the bone, right? 4.5 Ks to go is still a long distance to go, but I want to keep it close because I'm a sprinter and I want it to stay together for the end.
Yeah, and I think as soon as there's an unknown and you're getting counterattacked too.
Yeah,
on
I
top
know. This
of
is
it.
the frustrating part right here
Yeah.
because you take a pull that benefits everybody and then the counterattack goes. It's like, let's be nice for a little bit just to bring that back. But
what I was going to say was, like, as soon as there's like an unknown rider, there's a little bit of like anxiousness that comes. Who knows? Like New York Neil could have been like pegged at 200 watts and like that was everything he had, right?
You don't know, yeah.
Or it didn't matter what you and everyone else in that pack was going to do. The chase, like you weren't going to bring it back. Like nobody knows, and that unknown stress, I think, is honestly where experience comes in. Because if you look at the best racers in the world, while they're racing with a lot of people, you know, week in, week out, year over year over year, they have an experience with new riders always coming into their territory, and they have to learn to lean on their teammates to stay calm. So like if you had a teammate in this situation, this is when I'd be calling them to the front to say, like, help, because I don't know.
And basically Chuck in this situation, who just finished his pull, I gave him a thanks bro as I passed right there, because Chuck was like, hey, I want to bring it back too, because we have a common interest. Now, Chuck's probably not going to want to come to 200 meters with me, but until we get to the point where we've brought back this group off the front, we have a common interest, and that's bring back those two guys who are off the front. And so I'm going to put in another effort here, and then Zach's going to counter. And, hey, this is totally fair in racing. Like, you're allowed to do this, but I think it's a little short-sighted because unless you think you can hold it the rest of the way, then this is burning unnecessary matches. Brian?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about this in the past. You're closing in on that 3K to go where, yeah, it's kind of all bets off, but I think it is a little bit short-sighted considering there's a break up the road, right? If there was nobody up the road and you had been attacking or pulling, like, I would go for those punches. But when there's still the winning move up the road, those two guys together, riding together, you can't ride across them single-handedly and just roll away with it.
And so Chuck brings both those guys back, actually. So, and that's the reason why it was kind of short-sighted. It was only lasted 400 meters. I was sitting in the draft. Zach was out there smashing big boy watts, and now it's back together. I give Chuck another thanks, bro, right here.
This is one to go, right?
This is one to go, and an important moment happened right here. I don't know if the GoPro picked it up, but if you look at the footage, John's been dropped.
Right.
Is this John coming back? That's John coming back.
Coming back fast.
So new guy Neil has now gone over the top of John, and now he's still got this gap. And I'm in a little bit of panic mode right now. 171 beats per minute, 172 beats per minute is quite a bit for me. So I'm going to try everything I can. You can barely even see him in the distance, and this is why I was panicked when he went with John, because it's like he's very capable of getting away and staying away from this distance.
Yeah, and I think you could see there's panic in the rest of the group too, but like, you know, he basically got a head start here. New York Neil got a head start.
Got a little help from John.
Yeah, he got a little help from John. Everyone else kind of let down their guard. You know, I was talking to Jeff. By the way, I'm going to let the followers and viewers know he has not seen American Flyers. So in American Flyers, I would say I taught you that move, Summers. So, you know, New York Neil jumps over the top. He's not getting the reference. He doesn't understand it, but all my viewers will understand that. So
I apologize in advance, everybody.
But yeah, he got a head start. He's going for it. He's drilling it. And he got, you know, there's this disarray behind. you recognized
Yeah.
the panic.
Yeah.
So you did the hard pull already.
And then there were a couple of other kind of half pulls in front of me, but at this point, I'm gonna do this like super aggro pull right now, and this is just pure rage watts that I'm pushing right now. I wait for the headwind section, which is a bad idea, but at this point, it's like I put in this effort, or he stays away. Like you got to go for it at this point. It doesn't matter if you're saving your legs for the sprint or not. Everyone loses if you don't chase back this solo guy off the front. And I got pride. This is Alviso, man.
Yeah.
This is my weekly practice race, and I can't let the new guy win. So I just put in this super aggressive, really hard pull in the headwind. And it's worth noting that Zach was in my wheel, but he wasn't quite in my draft. He was like 2 bike lengths behind me, doing just as much work as I was. I wasn't privy to this at the time, but this is great news for me. So I brought him almost back. Zach gets to the front in kind of the wrong order, because this is Zach's teammate in Frenemy Bryan. I think their order should have been switched.
Yep, 100%.
For sure, right? Like Zach's got the one with the sprint legs. Bryan right here in front of me should have been doing the work instead. But now everyone's forced to bring this back, because it's like a game of chicken, right? You either get on the front and do a hard effort to go that last extra distance to new guy Neil, or everyone loses the race to the new guy Neil. So you gotta do this, right?
You have to be in position to win in order to win. So Zach waves his hands there,
telling his teammate to go for it, but
so you have 450 meters, and you have new guy Neil is just a few meters ahead there. Now he hasn't quite been caught, but you're already thinking about the sprint here. So you're thinking,
I know he's already caught. I know it's just a matter of who's going to catch him first.
Right.
And at 250 with the tailwind, I go. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to be the one. First of all, I didn't think we were going to catch him. Second of all, I didn't think it was going to be me who was going to be the first one to catch him and hold off everybody else because of that headwind effort. But the timing was really good, and there was just complete panic and disarray behind, and that allowed me to cross the finish line first for the dub.
Yeah, and using another trick out of last week's video with taking a run through his draft there too. That was good.
Yeah,
that was really good.
And that's your trick, by the way.
Is it?
I learned that one from you. It's you wait until you've almost caught the break, whether or not it's from 200 meters or from 20K out, and then you counter when you're just about to catch the group or the rider that's off the front.
Don't give them a moment.
It just creates panic and chaos.
Don't give them the moment.
That's right. All right. Well, hey, that was a fun one, and congrats to the new guy that came out. Hopefully he makes another trip out to the West Coast, to the best coast.
Bring some cannolis. Please bring some cannolis and give us a heads up. I will come out and watch.
Brian will empty his entire checking account to get cannolis from you.
You're going to get all $3.75 out of that thing.
Joke's on you. Thanks, guys. Catch you the next one.